Okay, so
It's not true.
we give a short tefillah. Bitkashrut, Hashem should attach us to all the true tzaddikim that are alive in the world,
Amen.
and all the ones that have passed on.
Amen.
Bifrat Rabbeinu Kadosh Tzaddik Yisod Olam Nechal Neveim Kol Chachma Rabbeinu Nachman Ben Fege Zechut Yigan Aleinu Vel Kol Yisrael Amen. Okay, so first of all, Bruchim Habayim to everyone. Like coming here, especially after Purim, I'm sure everyone is a little bit hungover from yesterday, including myself. Today was usually the day after the Fabregan for me is very, it's a very hard day to start my engines.
This is for bringing
And Baruch Hashem, and Baruch Hashem, we all made it here on a Monday night and a weeknight to learn Torah Torbeinu. There was, just to say something about Purim, that there's such lofty lights on Purim that's really so beyond everyone, that Rabbi Nachman said on himself. He said that he was being mitzpalel for years to realize what the sodot of Purim is, and when it was revealed to him, it was revealed that really the true sod of Purim is on such a high level in the heavens that nobody knows, not even the biggest tzaddikim grasp fully of the full holiness and the kedusha of Purim, and the sod of Purim is not really revealed to them until Rabbi Nachman said until he was so mitzpalel that it was revealed to him only slightly, and he said that all that he can say, which is I really don't know what it means, but he says on some level that it has to do with fixing the inyan of Korach. Fixing the inyan of Korach, the whole inyan of Purim has to do with fixing the inyan of Korach. And by us, experiencing this day and coming on a day and searching for emet, that the whole issue with Korach was whether that the tzaddik is Moshe Rabbeinu, or if we bechlal need the inyan of a tzaddik or not. And Korach was saying that we don't. Korach was saying that every single one of us is a tzaddik, and we can all connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And who needs Moshe Rabbeinu? Right? He gave the classic example that if a beged is all techelet, if it's all blue, do you really need blue on the strings? That the whole thing, if we all heard from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, do you really need a tzaddik? So it came out that the answer is HaKadosh Baruch Hu was very makbid about that. Hashem said, yes, we do need a tzaddik, and a lot really depends on that. So coming and really, the purpose of our gathering is that we can experience certain teachings from a tzaddik, and seeing how it can relate in our lives and how we can grow from this. So we're gonna start with Torah Daled. It says over here in the book Meshivat Nefesh. Rabbeinu says, "Mi sherotze leitkarev laHashem Yitbarach tzarech tamid levakesh et Hashem b'chol makom asher hu sham, ulekasher ulalot bechinat hamakom asher hu sham, lebechinat lamala mahamakom, dainu laHashem Yitbarach shu makomo shel olam, va'az zoche la'avod et Hashem be'emet, ve'ein shum makom shimna'ehu." It says over here that a person that really wants to come close to Kadosh Baruch Hu, it's one requirement is needed for that individual, that a person has this aspect of a heart that is searching, that he's searching for a Kadosh Baruch Hu in every situation, in every place that he is, and he attaches himself and he seeks to uplift himself from that place, from that situation that he finds himself, to the aspect of being lamala mehamakom, to being above place, above that situation. What does that mean, to be above? It means the Hainu LaHashem Yitzbarach, that you can attach yourself to Hashem, Shu Makomo Shel Olam, because it says in Bereshit Rabbah that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the Makom of the world. That the world isn't the Makom of Hashem, the world isn't the place of Hashem, Hashem is the Makom of the world. Everything's within HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So to lift yourself out of that situation and to attach yourself to the Makomo Shel Olam, and if one can do that, he can serve Kadosh Baruch Hu in the level of truth. And no situation will prevent him. Like we know, there were certain tzaddikim that constantly their souls were flying towards the heaven, and nothing in this world was able to hold them back. the famous story is one with one of the, we were in Chabad with one of the Lubavitcher Rebbe's, the Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak, that he was coming out of jail, and they're about to free him. A lot of the Rebbe's in Chabad happened to be in jail at a certain point in their lives, and it started with the Baal Tanya. The Baal Tanya was in jail. The Friedricher Rebbe was in jail. So Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak, when he was in jail, they're about to free him. I mean, when the trials went forward and he was about to leave. So right before he goes, 2 guards pull him into a room. And when they pull him into a room, one of them takes a piece of bacon on a plate and he pushes it in front of him, and the other one takes out a pistol. It was pretty obvious, what they wanted him to do. And they said, if he's not going to eat this, they're going to take away his life. So, we discussed that when it comes to Mesirat Nefesh, that if a person is doing it lahachis, that you should violate a mitzvah in order to demonstrate that you don't believe in Hashem, that you're relinquishing your religion, you're supposed to give up your life, right? So Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak looks at him and he says, "You know what the difference between you and me is?" And he says, "What?" He says, "The difference between me and you is with you," he says, "you have many gods and one world." He says, "But I have one God, but many worlds." Meaning if you shoot me here, I'm not going to finish here. My soul is going to continue. My neshama is going to continue. So the guards saw with such a clarity that they have no effect on this individual whatsoever. That he's just, his neshama is just shining. Like, they have no effect. This pistol has no effect on this man. So they just they just gave up. They're just like, okay, just let him go. Like, we can't do anything to this individual. That if we can be individuals like them, I'm speaking really for myself, and everyone probably could apply this themselves. If we could be individuals, that we could be lamala mahamakom, wherever we are, you can transcend that space. I remember I was one street, I was walking in Yerushalayim. It was one rachov in Nachlaot, and I was walking, and it's a pretty long road. I was thinking, while I was walking, I was like, how many Jews have walked down this road? Imagine over the years, that road used to be a road where there was those horses and wagons, and a lot of Yidden walked down that road. I said, what was the kavanah behind every person walking down here? Who knows? People are thinking about their asakim, their business, their this, their that, what they have to do. If you can walk down this road and think about a Kadosh Baruch Hu, it changes the whole walk. It changes the whole avir. There was a certain tzaddik. He was in Tel Aviv. They had to pass. They passed through Tel Aviv, and there was a certain area that he asked that if they could stop the car, and he dafka got out with his Talmud and he paced back and forth, and then when the Gabbai asked him, he said, why did you want to stop over here? So he said that when first the Jews came from Europe and they came to Eretz Yisrael, that one of the tzaddikim, I think it was one of the Rebbe's of Belz, that or Baron of Belz, that when he first came, he actually stayed in, he made like a little shul in Tel Aviv. He made like a little base medrash in Tel Aviv, and even though years later, unfortunately that place is like, it doesn't look like a religious place at all. But he says because he walked down this block, he walked back and forward from this block, and he was thinking thoughts of Elokut. He says that there's a special reach, there's a special spirit that's still here, and he dafka wanted to stop the car to be able to tap into that a little bit. We have no idea what happens. The whole thing of Purim is, what is this whole thing of Matanot Levyonim, you give things to other people, is to promote this good spirit. It's to promote this good ruach within Am Yisrael. Whenever you give tzedakah, it's also the same thing. You're creating a positive spirit within Am Yisrael. And that's really what Rabbeinu was saying, that a person can sort of not sink into the aspect of Makom. Achashverosh and Haman and these people, they were trying to get us to sink into this aspect of Makom, that the place and the situation can weigh down on a Jewish soul, and it can weigh down on your neshama chas v'shalom, and it can make a person want to give up. It could do that, and that's why they actually took the kelim of the Beit HaMikdash.
What can make a person give up?
This aspect of giving up. The situation a person's going through, like it could be whatever it is. Like at the times of Achashverosh, it was that they made a cheshbon, they made a calculation that at a certain time the geula was supposed to come, and it didn't come yet. So they were throwing a celebration meaning a celebration of giving up, a celebration of giving up. And what happened? They took the kelim of the Beit HaMikdash out, and they were partying with it. What's the most holy, precious things that Am Yisrael holds? The big day kahuna of the Kohen Gadol. They were like wearing it, and they were like drinking out of like the kelim of the Beis Hamikdash. And when a Jew saw that, he was like, Hashem, I am mekom kavodo. Hashem, where are you? What's happening? Hashem Yerachim, look what's happening. You know, if a person can sort of transcend people like Mordechai, you know, Mordechai Yehudi, that could see that and still say, you know, Yesh Elokim ba'olam, there's Hashem in the world, and I'm gonna that's where I'm gonna cash my chips, you know, then a person can really transcend, and that's what Rabbeinu is saying. You know, you could be on the LIE, you know, stuck in traffic, but you're so not there. You're so mamish in a higher world because you could attach yourself to the Borei Olam at any time. You could be on a business trip somewhere, who knows, in the middle of nowhere. And you know, there's so many distractions, but you know that Kadosh Baruch Hu's in the world, and you keep your devotions, you speak to Kadosh Baruch Hu. Another avoda that Rabbi Nachman speaks about to talk to Hashem in your own words, that how it's such a lofty thing. So a person can really transcend, and that's what really what he's saying here. And he continues, V'afilu misha nafal le'ezeh makom lo tov. That even if chas v'shalom somebody falls into a situation that's called it's called lo tov bechata'av, with his sins, va'afilu lemakom namuch o megusham, even if he falls into a place that's low, that's putrid, umeluchlach, and dirty, ma'od, chas v'chalila, rachmanu litzlan. Nevertheless, he says, afal pichein tzorech sheyizkor b'Hashem yitbarach. You have to remember Hashem. Shehu mekomo shel olam, that the world, that the universe is filled with His glory. Shesham yesh makom lechol echad ve'echad. In that place, if you tap into that mentality, into that idea, you can transcend out of that place. V'alkein ein shum nefila b'olam klal. So therefore, if you go with this logic, if we're really looking at this teaching, there is no such thing as a nefila. There is no such a thing as a person that he can spiritually fall. Right? Meaning this, because of the situation, he can still hold strong in the Kadosh Baruch Hu and transcend. Ki mikol hamakomot, because in all of the places, asher nidach l'sham, yachol lachazor la'Hashem yitbarach, bebechinat ubikashtem misham Hashem Elokecha, that I searched for you, Hashem, from that place. Misham daika, specifically from that place, mimakom asher husham kamuva, from that place. It was about Tshuva. He was telling me that one of the turning points of his life was that when he was sitting in a club, Rachmana litzlan, and he was thinking to himself how far he came, like how far he fell from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he decided right there he's going to search for Hashem, and he sat down and that drink that he ordered at the bar, he made a bracha on that drink. I mentioned it to some of you guys. And he said that bracha with such kavanah that through that bracha he was able to be choser b'tshuva. Through one instance. Dafka, the Gemara says that there's